Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Laderans, where we're playing more Final Fantasy XIV. Last episode we did, I'm pretty sure that we did the blacksmith questline. Yeah, I am 100% sure, because that's how I'm going to be uploading this. Anyway, this episode we're going to go and do the armor questline. Of Stormblood, of course. Greetings, Sin. I hope you have been well since the last incident with Blansteer. Speaking of which, our resident veteran of the Forge has built quite the reputation for himself. Our patrons are well pleased with the custom-made quality of his armors. Thus did it come as quite a surprise when he announced his intention to leave the guild. I questioned him on this sudden change of heart, but the stubborn Aurochs refused to divulge his reasons. Despite all that has happened, I suppose he must be uncomfortable confiding aught in me. Mayhap you would have better luck? I'm his superior, but he respects and admires you as a colleague. Need you to get to the bottom of this, Lynn. Losing an experienced armorer without so much as an explanation is unacceptable. Oh well, if it ain't me old forge mate, Lynn. What's with the grim face? Oh, you've the right of it. I mean, to put the guild behind me. Now, I've confidence in my skills, and I reckon that lately I've been forging some of the best armor, best pieces of my career. But I couldn't figure out for the life of me why I didn't feel myself the equal of you or the Forge Master. After a good bit of thinking, though, I came to the realization that my work lacks character. I was just arriving at that conclusion, you see, when I saw an adventurer by the Aft Castle wearing a helm of the oddest design. I had to stop her and ask how she got it. Or where she got it from. You know what she says? Some envoy from the Far East gave it to her for services rendered during Evan's turn or some such. And that's when I had me an epiphany. Needed to learn how to infuse my work with as much character as radiated from that odd-looking helmet. Needed to study what the fuck would make it. But if I'm to bugger off on a pilgrimage of enlightenment to the Far East, I can't bloody well keep taking on commissions now, can I? That's why I gave me notice to Hanaza. You can try to talk me out of it till you're blue in the face, but me mind's made up. Good old Blansteer. Well, what did the old outgoat have to say for himself? I see. Certainly appreciate you clearing up that mystery, but why does he... Sticking your break in my business again, Ananza? Should have bloody known you put Lynn up to it. If you'd simply explained the why of it in the first place, I wouldn't have needed to stoop to such measures. And I also could have told you at the outset that you needn't cut all ties with the guild. It is perfectly acceptable for an artisan to take an occasional leave of absence for the purpose of self-improvement. A leave of absence, you call it? Aye, well, I suppose that works too. I'm serious about training new skills, but I'll be glad to keep my position at your forge if you'd still have me. Right, I'll take my leave then, Forge Master. And if it ain't too much trouble, I'd appreciate if you could see to my client's needs while I'm gone. I will take care of any requests for repairs or adjustments. I hate that. Adjustments. That is a word. If you really try to pronounce it properly, it's surprisingly difficult for me in any case. You just stay focused. I don't want to see you back here until you're satisfied that you've grown as a craftsman. Understood? Well, I'm off to seek a ship to the Far East. Keep them fires on, hey? The great bloody buffoon. Baragot knows how we'll fare over there, but then again, maybe he'll return a changed man. Fare you well, then. I'll let you know should I hear from Blansteer. Why? There's so many freaking job quests in Stormblood. I'm really... in the beginning, I was kind of sad that I didn't have, more job quests in Shadowbringers, because they changed their role quests more specifically, and the crafting is also a little bit different. But man, now that I'm here, I'm like, oof. I can appreciate a little less. Blansteer should have arrived on Far Eastern shores by now, but I've heard not a word from the old Aurochs. There's no news of storms or ships lost at sea, so I assume he made it to Gugane. Have you been there yourself? Should you happen to have business on that side of the world, I'd consider it a favor if you could look in on him for me. Personality aside, Blansteer is one of our best artisans. Losing him to some mishap would be a terrible bluff. For the guild, of course. Yungashi. Kugane. Len, Beauregard's beard. I thought you looked familiar. Nanda sent you to spy on me, did she? I arrived a while ago, truth be told, but this bloody statue caught my eye and refused to let go. Just look at the armor on that bloke. I don't see naught like that in the oars, yeah? Well, I'd best not stand around gawping all day. I need to find a smithy and see if they're willing to teach an old hand like me. Here, do you want to come along and help look then? Go, lass. The ship captains told me there's an artisan district near Pier 1, so let's ride there first. My mind just did a weird thought process, which I'm not going to elaborate on. Hey look, it's the same place. Judging by the heat and the noise, I'd say we've come to the right place. Right, well there's not to be gained by being shy. Begging your pardon, sir, but who might be the master of this forge? Travelled in from yours with a mind to learning your style of armor smithing. Well, well, in all my years, never have I had a foreigner seek an apprenticeship at my anvil. Pray tell me more of your aspirations. Hang on, so you're the master of this place then? So the fates have decreed. I am Fugetsu. Kokaigia, I think? Kokajia's humble proprietor and chief armorer. Oh, I'm pleased to meet you. Name's Blanster. I'm an armorer from Limzalaminta, a city where I learned my craft. See, I was taken by the striking design of the helms your countryman was given out on Evanstern, and reckoned that I'd like to study with the artisan who crafted him. I asked about, and the answer sent me here to Kagane. Ah, the Evanstern helmets. If you seek the man who forged those pieces, then you need look no further. Or is there some particular aspect of the design that drew your attention? Those are yours then? Bugger me, that was easy. To answer your question, I've been feeling that my own work has fallen into a bit of a rut, and the distinct personality of them helms is exactly what I've been missing. The search for one's own style can certainly be a trial. Very well. I should be glad to aid you in finding yours. You will? Thank you, sir. Ordinarily, I teach with one student at a time, but it will be a refreshing challenge to instruct the two of you together. I look forward to the experience. Before we begin, however, I would gauge your skills as artisans. Would you craft for me a set of quality Eorzean armor? My apprentice, Unryu, will provide you with the necessary materials. Present your work to me when you are finished. Oh, I guess you thought you was here from the same reason as me, but you can't pass up this chance then. We can learn the secrets of Far Eastern armor smithing side by side. He's definitely not going to feel bad about having made inferior craftsmanship. Master Fugetsu explained to me your task. If you would tell me the type of armor you plan to forge, then I shall requisition the appropriate metals from our stores. Ah, a sort of mail, is it? I believe these materials should suffice, but do not hesitate to request more should you find them lacking. Once the armor is complete, you may present it directly to Master Fugetsu. I pray sincerely for your success. A junior apprentice would be most welcome at the forge. Class Paladin mail. You've got mail. I trust all our materials were sufficient for the task. A titanium alloy breastplate fit for a paladin. A fine piece. You've shown considerable skill in working this amount of detail into such a durable alloy. The techniques that you employ are not the same as ours. Your experience as an artisan is readily apparent. I am curious to see how you will fare with our traditional methods. But whilst I am eager to begin your instruction, I'm afraid an important commission must take precedence. Pray use this time to familiarize yourself with the local materials, and I shall inform you when your lessons are to commence. Seems you both managed to impress Master Fugetsu, eh? We've got a foot in the door, but you know as well as I do that was the easy part. I do things different over here, and we'll be starting from the bottom, but if that difference is what brings out the character in the crafting, then it'll be worth the climb to the top. Oh, and don't you worry, worry none about Nanza. I'll be sending her a letter explaining what we're up to. Neither one of us wants to hear her griping that she thought she was dead or something. We was dead or something, whatever. Look at us, Lynn. Seems only yesterday we was rivals, and now here we are, taking an apprenticeship together. Beauregard crafts in mysterious ways, eh? It sure does. A little unfortunate that I'm still dealing with Blonster, but it makes sense that you would. Well, if it ain't my fellow apprentice, been keeping busy. Myself, I've been watching over Master Fugetsu's shoulders as he works, and learn a few scraps of forage and armor crafting. The whole way they approach the craft is different. From the materials they choose, due to processing of putting the pieces together. And now that Master Fugetsu is finishing up that commission work, he'll be free to instruct us in his methods firsthand. We'll finally be taking my first step towards my goal. I recall a beard, my bloody hands are trembling at the thought of it. Alright, let's go and learn our first lesson, eh? You have been most patient, my apprentices, but you need wait no longer. Our commission is safely filled, and I can now devote my full attention to instructing you in our traditional methods. Let's begin by examining the differences between Eorzean and Hingan plate armors. The most obvious being that while your suits are crafted from large, carefully shaped sheets, ours are made up of many overlapping scales. The scales themselves are often made from hardened leather, but for your lesson, I think I should have you forge them from metal. This will allow you to craft a durable yet flexible piece of armor. In this land, we are especially conscious of protecting against arrows, and this emphasis has led to the design of long hanging sleeves and the like. I imagine the appearance is quite unusual for those unaccustomed to the style. But be it as it may, these scales form the foundation of the Hingan art of armor crafting. As an introduction to this basic technique, I have decided to have you craft a pair of armored gloves, otherwise known as kote. Speak with Unryu, and as before, he will provide you with all the materials you require. These kote of yours, do the folk who wear them ask for rather in particular? I want to make certain I focus on the right bits. Ah, then mayhap you might wish to speak with the warrior directly. I'm sure one of the blades at the Sekisugumi barracks would be sufficiently intrigued by your query to offer an answer. A barracks, eh? Right, we'll go and have a bit of a chat and then get straight to work. I'm eager to see how you incorporate the results of your investigation. I was just about to say, like, man, I hope that this quest is gonna make it so I don't have to leave that room. Yes, who are you, and what business have you with the Sekisugumi? We're Eorzeans, apprentice to Master Fugetsu. We've been tasked with forging some kote, and I thought I'd ask a proper warrior about the kind of gloves he prefers to wear. Ah, a worthy subject of discourse. While protection for the hands is paramount, I would say that the finest kote must also afford a full range of motion for wielding a blade. One cannot hope to exploit an enemy's fleeting misstep if one's hands are bound as if by blocks of lead. A full range of motion, eh? It's the sort of thing I wanted to hear. Thank you, sir. From the sounds of it, we'll be needing a metal that's both light and durable if we're to achieve the right amount of flexibility and protection. Let's get you working on some base titanium gloves. I'll craft the other bits and pieces, and we can put it all together for our presentation. Nightmare. Oh, I hate that new thing. It's horrible. You seek to forge a pair of titanium kote, yes? Blaster explained your task to me, and I've prepared everything you need. As ever, should you require aught more, do not hesitate to ask. Titanium kote. Are you done with them kote then? Lightweight guns of Far Eastern design, forged with titanium for added durability. Very nice then, just the sort of quality I'd expect from you. I'll attach all the other bits we need, and we can show our work to Master Forgetsu. Let me see what you have forged then. Yes, not only are the scales of exceptional strength and quality, the precision of the jointing is beautiful to behold. You can find no criticism worthy of mention. Too heavy and rigid, and Kote will be as manacles. You show a fine understanding of the importance of freedom and of movement on the battlefield. I would simply forge them like that warrior bloke suggested. For veterans like me and Lin, weren't exactly much of a challenge. I'm starting to wonder if this really is the right path to unlocking my own brand of originality. I want to learn how to make something like that like them Heaven's Torn helms, something distinct and with character. Not to be rude, but didn't come here to hammer out dull-bodied pieces like this. I understand your urgency, but the individuality you seek cannot be developed in a day. That you have learned to craft to your client's needs is a fine start, and we will build upon that foundation. Today's lesson is over. I shall next instruct you in more practical concerns. So, do be sure you have a firm grasp on the art of crafting scales. Money! And I've now learned manipulation. Finally, I've learned manipulation tactics. Ah, Lin, is it not? How are you finding your apprenticeship here in Kokoyija? Sorry. Kokojiya. Kokoyaki? I feel... I don't know. From the looks of things, you have developed a solid mastery of the fundamentals. Yes, I think maybe this time we honed your skills to the more practical task. I'd have you accept a commission from one of our patrons. As fortune would have it, one of the samurai families has requested our services. Fulfilling this request shall serve as your next lesson. Welcome challenge. So, where can we find this client of yours? A meeting has been arranged to take place in Tenkonto. The client is Master Gyosei. Listen attentively and expend every effort to satisfy his wishes. Consider it done. Come on, Lin. Let's go and meet with this Master Gyosei. And why do I know that name? Why do I know that name? It's not Kageyama in any case. That's the guy I was thinking of for a moment, but no. That's a different dude. That's the evil guy. You. Yes, I'm Gyosei, and what would you have of me, Ijin? Ah, forgive my brusque manner, not expect. And just how long have you two been studying with Master Forgetsu? But recently arrived from Mayorza, you say? And just newly apprenticed? Wonderful that your instruction in Hingan methods coincides with my most urgent request. No matter, I shall place my trust in your skill, as Master Forgetsu has clearly done. As for my request, I need you to craft for me new headgear for the Gozan Jiai. For the Goza Jiai? Yes, the Goza Jiai. It is a tournament of sorts where samurai display their prowess with a blade before members of the nobility. An exceptional performance can earn one a most lucrative appointment. Oh, so you're looking to impress a future employer. Don't you worry, sir. You've put yourself in capable hands. Glad I'm of to hear such confidence. I expect not less than perfection from an apprentice of Master Forgetsu. What so we have ourselves a little contest then? I reckon we both have to go at making a piece for a client here and see which work he likes best. And maybe if Master Forgetsu thinks my design is good enough, then I can skip all this basic rubbish and move on to learn how to make my style more distinct. Let's head back and pick up some supplies for you. Master Gyosei, sir, will be getting to work on your commission now. If you don't mind, I'd like you to stop by Kogiyija once it's finished. Very good. I shall await word of my armor's completion then. I do like this, thing over here. I don't know the name of it. I do like this basic, samurai getup. Simple. Casual, yet refined. Run, bitch. Run! Master tells me you're to compete for the client's favor. I wonder, however, if you are familiar with the Gozen GI. GI? What's it again? Gozen GI. Yeah, I was actually correct. Gozen GI. If you're familiar with Gozen GI and what might be considered preferable armor. Before you begin, why not ask the advice of those with the relevant experience? One such person might be the Sekizugumi Blade, who shared with you his ideas on the perfect kote. He will have participated in the tournament in question, and is thus in possession of an invaluable perspective. Another fine choice would be a storekeeper in the Rakusa district. Such a merchant will have traded in many types of armor, and could provide you with a broader range of ideas. Let me know when you have decided on a piece, and I shall plunder our stores for you. Master Forgetsu does not like it when I use the words such as plunder. Ah, well, if it isn't my fellow kote enthusiast, you were able to forge a fine pair of gauntlets, I trust? I see, and this time you are to craft headgear for Gozen GI. Gozen GI, I guess. Participant. For a Gozen GI participant. First and foremost, the tournament takes place before a significant gathering of the nobility. As such, it is best to avoid ostentatious designs or gaudy color combinations. When I myself joined the tournament, I also found it advantageous to wear a face mask, which allowed a wide field of vision. That is all I can tell you of your armor. Of armor. Your client's success will otherwise rely upon his own skill. Closer, my friend. Come closer. See anything you like? Yeah, headgear for the Gozen GI. Well, each combatant has its preferences, but most will choose a face mask of some kind. There's a Hatsuburi, which protects the brow and cheeks, and the Summon, a fuller version, which stretches further down across the jaw. I've seen warriors who bind their head with naught but a Hachimaki. And I've seen the same warriors carried out with cracked skulls. A strip of cloth affords poor protection, you'll find. I keep singing along to the song because it's just so good. So much music in this game is so good and I just can't shut up. Apologies if it bothers you. And otherwise if it does, well, and maybe my videos aren't the best for you to watch. Hello. Have you decided on the piece you wish to forge? A summon, is it? Very well. One moment and I'll see what we have. Ah, this should do nicely. Here. As always, I will replace your material should you happen to slip up with your hammer. Or to slip with your hammer. I am a generous quartermaster. Oh, and I believe you are to present your work to Master Forgetsu when it is ready. As I bump into my microphone arm. Why is crafting so easy, guys? He says while being over-leveled and allowing, basically, being able to just do it in one go. Blancers explained to me that you plan to have the client choose between his work and your work. Do you have your piece ready? Lightweight headgear of Far Eastern design for use in Hengen tournaments known as Gozen GI. I see you have chosen to craft a summon. I'm very curious indeed to witness the outcome of this little contest. Oh, are both of these pieces from my commission? Oh, I better not say who made which. You just pick the one what catches your fancy, sir. I've made my decision. Right, let's hear it then. I'll take this summon. Hang on a bloody moment, you're choosing to summon over Miss Silver Snake Kabuto? But surely you can't pass up the helmet what protects your old head. And look at the serpent head, it's a symbol of good fortune over here. Ain't it? Not to mention how such an original design will catch the eye of your prospective employer. The Guzan Jai is a tournament, not a life or death battle. While certain precautions must still be taken, it is not needful nor desirable to don the heaviest armor available. And when fighting before the nobility, it is considered tactless to draw attention without besides one's skill with the blade. A simple face mask is sufficient to put one's mind in the right frame of battle. But you didn't... Can't you just... Enough, apprentice. The client has decided and the matter is settled. Furthermore, it would seem you are in need of instruction regarding the original design of your Kobito. You once confided in me that the sight of a Heaven's-Turn helmet drove you to seek originality in your own work. I fear, however, that you misunderstand the motive behind the uniqueness of those designs. The Heaven's-Turn helmets were crafted to reflect the desire of the Bugyo, to introduce those animals to Eorzea and foster a fondness for our sacred symbols. They were not, as you seem to believe, created to exhibit my own personal style as an armorer. Your efforts to learn and incorporate our culture into your work, and the exquisite detail of the Kobito's embellishments, are worthy of praise. But such grand achievements are meaningless if the resulting piece fails to satisfy the needs and expectations of the client. You're right, Master ffXIV. Seems that ever since I saw that helm, I've been obsessed with creating somewhat with the same impact. In my rush to find my own style, I've gone and forgotten what I learned about tailoring my work to the client. I've wasted your time, Master ffXIV, and I beg your forgiveness. Thank you, Master ffXIV, for bringing me to my senses. If you'll still have me as your apprentice, it seems I could do with a few more lessons. Of course, Blanster. I will make a poor teacher indeed were I to turn away a student so willing to make improvements. Master ffXIV, I too offer my apologies for this misunderstanding. You must be eager to try on Lin's Somen. We thank you for your patronage and pray that your efforts at Gyozenji meet with resounding success. Your well wishes are much appreciated. You should be proud to have such talented apprentices. May fortune smile upon your forge. Sure, just give me a random piece of material that I will never use. Because, well, it's outdated. Well, since my little failure, I've gone back to learn all I can from Master ffXIV. It's been full sail ahead for days now. Yes, Blanster was an extraordinary fast learner. At this rate, I shall run out of things to teach him. Now, what of your trading, apprentice? You're enjoying your stay in the land of Ingashi? I'm glad. To be a stranger in a strange land can be trying at times. Pray forgive my intrusion. It is I, Gyosei. I thought to extend my gratitude once more for your finely crafted summon ere I make my departure. Master Gyosei, what's this about the departure? Ah, Blanster. Trust you are keeping well. I had some small success at the Gozan GI, and pledged my katana to a lord. As fortune may have it, I am to leave Kagane this very day. It would seem that the good folk of my new master's domain are plagued by bandits and thieves, and it is to aid in the uprooting of such undesirables that my blade was bound into service. I see, and that's a good thing, right? It certainly is. Could you spare some time before you leave, then? It was at the expense of your commission that I made a breakthrough with my armorsmithing, and I'd like to forge you a set of armor by way of an apology. My professional pride demands it. An offer so noble it brings tears to my eyes. It is with great reluctance, then, that I must decline. The hour of my departure draws near, and I cannot delay. Oh, well, it's a bloody shame. You have my hammer. You'll help, then? Oh, aye, with your rate, I reckon we could bang out a full suit faster than you could say Beauregard's beard. Oh, your heart is as pure as the metal you forge in. Yeah. Friendship. Right then, we'd best get to work. Would you be willing to wait a bit, Master Gyosei? I promise we'll have everything ready in time for you to make your ship. You have convinced me. I shall trust in your talent and abide here a while. Lynn, I've got myself an idea. Let's talk about it outside, eh? Ba-da-ba. Baba Booey. Blandsteer. So anyway, it's not a Blandston. That's an interesting horizon. I've been thinking on the type of armor we got to forge for a samurai mate. Now, Ingon armor is flexible and pretty and all, but it's hard to look past the protection provided by laments and plates. Since Master Gersa will be heading into battle against bandits and the like, which sounds not too safe to me. So I reckon we give him a suit of the kind only we could craft. One a Hingan style that befits a samurai, but with a few Eorzean touches thrown in for good measure. If we want to forge the chest piece of laments and Harayate, if you get my meaning, and while you're working on that, I'll put together the rest. You know, the helmet and gauntlets and such. Oh, it'll need to be a grand kabuto, someone who represents Gyosei's nature as well as his purpose. Onryo and his well-stocked shelves should be able to provide you with supplies for the Ariate. We're on a tight schedule here, Lynn, so you'd best get to hammering right away. I need to make a quick trip to look into a couple of things, and then I'll get back to work myself. Maybe back here when you're done. Is there something I can do for you then? Interesting. Let me see what I have. There we go. This should be enough for the raw materials. Should you have a little accident with the pliers, I'll be glad to give you another armful of supplies. You're to meet with Blandsteer when the piece is finished, yes? Well, hey. I've done my research right and proper this time, Blin. Is your work finished then? A breastplate that combines a Hingan design with laments and craftsmanship, bringing east and west together at last. Oh ho, you've outdone yourself. I bundle it together with my other bits and pieces, and we can present the whole set to Master Gyosei. It's all ready for you to try on, sir. Hope it meets with your approval. Huh? I do not know what artisan sorcery you employed to craft this so quickly, but I'm beyond pleased with the result. You even expended the effort to learn my family's quest. This kabuto is an astonishing recreation of our forward-facing rabbit. I'm glad you like it. I asked around and they told me the rabbit's one of them sacred animals that brings prosperity and long life. Seemed the perfect choice. Rabbit is also called upon in battle to guard against mishap, as well as grant a swift victory. A kawaii kabuto is more than a lucky charm. However, it serves to announce the presence of an individual warrior. When a renowned samurai takes to the field wearing his distinctive helm, his foes mark his arrival and despair. But for the samurai's allies, such a kabuto signals the appearance of a staunch companion and can inspire the wary to rally against the desperate odds. This helm you have crafted captures the very essence of the kawaii kabuto's purpose. But I must admit to some confusion as to the absence of traditional scales on the chest armor. What manner of plate is this? Ah, I see. Though the design is Hingan, the metal itself has been forged with Laminson techniques. A very modern confluence of styles. Would that I could stay and heap you with greater praise and gratitude, but I've already tarried over long. Pray forgive my ill manners. I shall repay this boon by defending good folk from the predations of villainous men. My katana shall sing as I spring across the battlefield with the swiftness of the rabbit. Farewell, good masters. Yeah, I hate that drip. Anyway, bye. Oh, that's that then. Learned what I came to learn, and I reckon it's time I packed up and headed home. Thank you, Master Forgetsu. You've been a fine teacher. Ah, could I mayhap ask a favor of you before you leave? I'd be most grateful if you could teach me the techniques used in shaping the plates of Master Gyosei's armor. It sounds great potential for future innovations. It's alright, Lin. I won't keep you here any longer. If you know, I know you're an adventurer as well as an armor. You're likely getting itchy feet by now. I'll stay behind and instruct Master Forgetsu myself. After all, what better way to repay him for all them hinkin' tricks he taught me? Ah, but do you think you could explain the situation to Anansa for me? She'll take it better coming from her favorite artisan. Any route. Back to Limsa Luminza. And then we are done with another one of these. This one was actually shorter than some of the other ones, which I like. I like them when they just keep going and don't have to run around too much, talk to random NPCs too much. In all fairness, though, like I don't really mind like talking, but the thing that I find annoying sometimes with some of these quests is just like running around constantly. This takes more time. Welcome back then. I received an almost illegible missive from Blandsteer saying you had both been accepted as apprentices, but not a whisper from him since. What's happened to the old arcs? Well, I can't say I'm surprised. The guild will have to do without his veteran skills for a while longer, but an even exchange of techniques is only right and proper. By the time he returns, Blandsteer will have mastered new methods for blending Hingan and Eorzean styles. That knowledge will benefit not only him, but also stir the hearts of our armorers. Stagnation is as good as death for an artisan, after all. We had a much-needed influx of innovation when we began trading with the kobolds, but now we'll find new ideas through this relationship with the Far East. I'm sorry to have sent you into the midst of one of Blandsteer's storms yet again, Lin, but I'd wager you've reaped the rewards when it comes to your craft. The journey was well worth it, then. Well, I'd best start studying works by this Far Eastern Forge Master, if I'm to keep ahead of you in Blandsteer. Yes. And that'll be it. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Little Darrens. We were playing Final Fantasy XIV, and next episode we are going to be doing the Goldsmith questline. Goodbye.